I believe that love is an illusion. On its face, the idea that two people were born for one another seems patently absurd, absent some sort of divine guidance or plan. Now, if you believe in fate, or some sort of divine plan behind soulmates, that is your prerogative, and of course it's your right to believe that way. However, if you find the notion that love is merely a confluence of duplicatable neurochemical responses, as I do, let's explore then, why is it that so many men seem to fall prey to love's trap? Our society depicts women as the idealists, the fanciful romantics daydreaming wistfully over the knight in shining armor who will rescue them from a life of drudgery and bill-paying. Men, on the other hand, are typically depicted as almost machine-like and unsentimental. By and large, this is just not true. Let's own up to the fact that, by and large, men are also romantics. Who among us can truly not say that he did not at some point in his youth dream of protecting the beautiful princess and slaying the evil dragon, or some variant to that effect? I dreamed of it often, riding in and saving the damsel in distress from danger, and winning her heart. As I have grown older, however, I have had several women over the course of my life which remain ensconced in my heart like snapshots. I will remember a given woman fondly, as if sifting through a photo collection in my mind. I'll remember so lucidly several key moments which I found to be uniquely moving in some respect, or particularly enjoyable. Here I am, maybe lounging on the couch with her. We're eating apples and cottage cheese and watching Spartacus Blood and Sand together. Or maybe we're walking through a forest, talking about anything or nothing at all. A mind has a way of freezing these moments into a heart and superimposing them like a colored lens over the way we perceive that woman from then on. It is only, I think, when a man realizes and is cognizant of this, that he is able to understand and see that she is by her nature always changing, regardless of his desire. For example, I might be talking to an ex-girlfriend on the phone, and I will, in the middle of the conversation, come to the depressing understanding that she truly is not the woman I loved years ago. That she has changed, that she is changing, and there is little to nothing left of the woman that I used to love. She has become somebody new. I think this observation is significant and important, because if this notion that she has truly changed hadn't occurred to me, I would just continue to superimpose my heart's penchant to proffer to me these snapshots in my mind of this woman and these particular memories of the past. And I wouldn't be able to recognize what she has become, who she has become, and interface with her new present truth. I think that as men, if we love a woman, we need to love that woman. We need to love her in accordance with the collection of past snapshots held in our hearts. Now, I think a great deal of men, certainly myself included, we carry a lot on our shoulders, a lot of pressure. And there's very few people in our lives who give a shit about us. So it makes sense, then, this natural penchant to categorize a woman, to put her in a memory block, you might say, a box in our life. We can say, at least this box in my life is full, and I can rely upon it and go and draw this out of that box of my life and access it when I need it, when times get hard. I think it's that penchant to superimpose our heart snapshots of a woman onto her present self, her present reality, which contributes strongly toward our proclivity to delude ourselves into buying the illusion that is love. Now, I was 20 years old when I first read The Way of the Superior Man by David Dida. Now, this is a book, in my humble opinion, with many flaws, but also a great deal of wisdom. And I think one of my favorite ideas that Mr. Dida proffers in the book is when he writes at length about how female nature is like a weather vane. It shifts this way and that with the weather. A woman might love a man 100% one day, and that is her truth of the moment. Maybe she loves him because she feels the depth of his purpose, the straightforwardness of his mission. But then if he were to begin to falter or doubt, his presence would diminish, and she would begin to stray. Her heart would seek masculine direction elsewhere. Now, feminists obviously would take a huge issue with this. They'd say, well, you're denying a woman agency. Now, obviously, a woman can make her own choices, but I think that women have a very strong penchant to follow their hearts over their reason. I don't think that feminism as it stands today would exist. The argument from pity logical fallacy that it really boils down to, if women didn't place the subjectivity of their own experience in such high regard. And emotion is key there. But in the end, whether we're denying her agency or not, we're essentially saying a woman will follow her heart, and her heart is like a weather vane. Now, I think that men typically go a lot more, or at least this has been the case in my experience, by sort of a linear set of observations. So that's kind of the reason that if another man tells me, hey, Coterie, I give you my word that I'll do this, or I promise you that this is the way things truly are. And I've always known that man to deliver upon his honesty in the past. I'll believe him. I'd have no reason to believe otherwise. But my experience in life has made me interact with the sexes differently in this regard. If a woman were to give her word to me, by and large, I may not be so quick to believe it. Now, I believe that if a man experiences with his whole heart a moment of, for lack of a more accurate descriptor or a more precise adjective, a moment, so let's call it pure love with a woman, it will imprint itself, this memory, in time, like a snapshot on his heart. And he will, from that point forward, accumulate snapshots. And these snapshots, when taken together, will form an amalgamation that will be the woman that he will be naturally drawn to pedestalize. And he will do everything he can to use mental gymnastics to continually reify and prove to himself that she is now the way she always was according to his string of snapshots. He will fish for similarities to attempt to continually prove to himself that the woman he's with is the same as the one he's been falling in love with, the one he may have fallen in love with years ago. Now, gentlemen, she almost certainly is not. She has the memories of that person, and there are elements, of course, of that person in her. But for all intents and purposes, I would highly recommend perceiving women as constantly shifting. If we as men can successfully overcome our deep-seated desire to force the woman that we are with into the mold of the woman that we believe she once was when we fell in love with her, I think that we can more accurately assess the actual truth of the moment and, so to speak, pierce the veil of the illusion of love which has been cast over our eyes by our own snapshot hearts. Now, we've heard the expression before, ignorance is bliss, but I think that is a stupid expression. If a man marries a woman, he wants that woman to be the one he fell in love with, but she is changing like the wind or the water. He may find he has given her enough rope with which to metaphorically hang him in divorce court, blindsided because, really, in a way, he's kind of allowed himself to be so. Blindsided because of his heart's penchant to fool him. Be cognizant, gentlemen, of your own heart's penchant to conform the woman in front of you to the woman she used to be. Because although the truth may not be as pretty, or even painful in the short term, it is, by far, the best strategic choice for any man who values himself and his personhood first and foremost. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you, gentlemen, and have a pleasant evening.